Today we join the other United Nations member states in observance of World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. This year's theme, Responding to the Trafficking of Children and Young People, brings into focus that almost a third of trafficking victims are children. Here in Jamaica, the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons is spearheading the island's efforts to stop this from happening. Through a multi-agency approach, the task force has galvanized the state's legislative, institutional and operational capacity to combat trafficking in persons. For more information on how you can assist, visit moj.gov.jm.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, July 30. 10 beaches are being upgraded this year under the Ministry of Tourism's Beach Development Program. This was revealed by Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett as he officially reopened the Marking Stone Beach in St. Mary a few days ago. The Beach Development Program is being funded by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, with support from the Tourism Product Development Company and other partners. One beach in each parish is to be transformed into a quality recreational space for locals and tourists.
We recognize that beaches are a great resource of tourism. In fact, our scenic beaches attract a large number of domestic and inbound tourists.
The Marking Stone Beach has been upgraded by the TEF at a cost of $38.3 million. It is an entertainment facility with 3 gazebos, restroom, parking facilities, a guardhouse, and improved landscaping. The TEF has spent over $104 million to similarly upgrade 3 other beaches, including License in St. Thomas, which is to be opened within the next few weeks. Boston and Winifred in Portland will be opened afterwards, while Burwood in Trelawney was previously upgraded and reopened. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, will be putting additional security measures in place to protect the Riverton City Disposal Site and other landfills from arsonists. That assurance from the NSWMA's chairman, Dennis Chung, comes in the wake of 2 fires being lit at the Spanish Town Road facility less than 12 hours apart this weekend. Mr. Chung says an immediate investigation has been ordered into what appears to be the work of arsonists. In the meantime, he says the authority is checking whether or not there were procedural breaches in security access, pointing out that the fire was lit in the only area of vulnerability where trucks empty refuse before it is moved and covered. On a positive note, he says, the relatively small size of the area, just 3 acres, makes it easier to contain. Crews from the York Park Fire Department, as well as the NSWMA, were deployed to contain the blaze. As smoke nuisance continues to be an issue, the NSWMA's chairman is asking residents to bear with the authority as it works to restore normalcy. More young people in Flanker St. James will get skills training due to a recent donation of equipment to support an upcoming property management course for community members. National Security Minister and Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. R.S. Chang, says the course will get underway shortly at the Flanker Skills Training Institute in collaboration with the Heart Trust NTA. He was speaking at the recent handover of the equipment, which was donated by China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC. Dr. Chang has lauded the Chinese company for the $3 million gift, which he says supports the government's commitment to developing inner-city communities such as Flanker.
We are seeking to ensure that we bring into place the kind of activities that will attract a cross-section of the young people in the community and around Montego Bay.
In further support of that, he says the Caribbean Maritime University will set up a simulator in the parish by year-end to train and certify individuals in the use of heavy-duty equipment and vehicles. Acting Senior Director of Heart Trust NTA's Workforce Development and Employment Division, Elaine Holloway, says the program at Flanker is indicative of the agency's major focus on community training intervention.
Because we are serious about reaching persons where they are and expanding access to training and assessment and validation of competencies into the communities and workplaces where they are.
National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang is calling for a collective national response to stem human trafficking. Dr. Chang says this must include partnership with academia to effectively incorporate scholarships and scientific study to address the issue. He says a partnership framework also needs to be developed to build on existing human and technical capacity, engage stakeholder expertise, and implement awareness programs for schools, social workers, investigators, and the judiciary.
Jamaica's agenda must call on the expertise of those who have been inside or experienced the horrors of this activity. We must redouble our efforts at the government level, but also on the ground in communities where crime of human trafficking is taking place.
Dr. Chang was addressing the recent opening ceremony for an international human trafficking conference. It was organized by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons. The Security Minister says outcomes of the conference will guide the development of a comprehensive, far-reaching anti-trafficking strategy. The 66th staging of the Denby Agricultural Show, which gets underway this Independence weekend, is expected to generate $1 billion over the 3 days. The show will again be held at the Denby Showground in Maypen, Clarendon. President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, Norman Grant, says all is in place for the event, which is considered the premier agro-industrial show in Jamaica and the English-speaking Caribbean.
The show is a benchmark for showcasing agriculture, and it is certainly the celebration or the coming together of several parish agricultural shows island-wide. And in essence, the Denby Show is a perfect platform for patron and participant to become exposed to modern trends in agriculture as it relates to industries.
Mr. Grant was addressing a recent JIS think tank. Gates will open at 8 a.m. each day, and admission is $1,000 for adults and $400 for children. The Jamaican Urban Transit Company, JUTC, will again be offering its park and ride services this year, with adults paying $1,400 and children $1,200. Buses will leave from select facilities in Portmore, Spanish Town, and Halfway Tree. And finally, the best of local cuisine will be on display at Jamaica's inaugural Culinary Arts Expo to be held on August 2 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston. This event is being organized by the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, to commemorate its 55th anniversary. It will also form part of the Jamaica 56 Emancipation and Independence celebrations.
We have reached out to persons who have been integral to the process throughout the years, inclusive of the hotels, and so we expect it to be an event that people will benefit from a whole lot when you come to participate.
JCDC's interim executive director told a recent JIS think tank that the event will be free to the public. Gates open at 10 a.m. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash no paper, no dash no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, No dirty up Jamaica. No dirty up Jamaica. No dirty up Jamaica.
Do you know how to identify and help a human trafficking victim? Get some tips next.
Michelle, what Shana doing now like how she leaves school?
Nothing. Song for me every day. But a man promise a job of foreign. Them a look about paperwork and everything. Even visa and passport.
What she going up there to do? Who she going to stay with? You going to get a number for her that you can contact her?
When I ask the man, him says stop her myself.
I don't like the sound of this, Michelle. Might not take them one, take away your picnic. You ever hear about human trafficking?
Trafficking?
Or trafficking in persons, the same thing. Why you watch that video, yeah? See if it's it them go and do with Shana.
Alright.
But I'm afraid to die.
Trafficking in persons by law is a criminal offense. Those who perpetrate this crime usually do so in unsuspecting ways. It could be a friendly invitation to another part of the island or another country, or even through enticing job offers. Persons who get caught up in this web aren't necessarily naive individuals, but human traffickers are sophisticated criminals who put a lot of thought into disguising their nefarious intents.
Not all persons who promise job, etc. overseas after graduation can deliver or plan to deliver. So what they do is lure them into thinking that there's a better life somewhere else. And persons will respond to it. What they'll do is that they pay the ticket and they'll invite you up. Once you're there, they take your passports and then you're placed in servitude.
It is at this helpless stage that victims are forced into unpaid labor or prostitution. The best way to get out of these situations is not to enter them in the first place. So the authorities are cautioning persons to be more vigilant.
You are not supposed to be able to get a visa without your attending or that your parents, if you're a minor, right? So nobody is supposed to be able to legitimately give you a passport with a valid visa without you having gone through that process.
Before you even reach that stage, you should try to get answers to some very important questions once an offer has been made to you. Ask, where am I going? Where will I be staying? Who will be responsible for me? And what do I tell my family?
If you cannot give that information out of this encounter that you're offered, if you cannot give that information that can be checked, then you ought not to take it on.
I don't know where I am. They've taken all that I had.
Doreen, I'm glad you showed me this video. It made me want to ask the man more questions because I can't let him take Shauna. I don't know where she gone.
I'm glad you understand the signs of trafficking in persons. But keep watching more information in the program.
Statistics across the world have revealed that women and children are more vulnerable to human trafficking. However,
we see young, bright males, young, bright females, university graduates. We have people from difficult circumstances, people in the main who have been tricked, so it varies.
I also think any person who doesn't have sufficient information so that they can assess an offer that is being made to them is vulnerable as well.
To protect all its citizens, the government has intensified its public awareness campaign. Persons are being given information to guard themselves and others against this crime.
We're going to be giving out some business card size facts on trafficking to the workers in the sector who would be exposed: customs, immigration, the police. So at a moment you get into your pocket and you have the facts, is this what I'm seeing?
We can identify persons being trafficked by certain behaviors being displayed. A person behaving unusually timid is one of the classic signs of someone being trafficked.
Persons who are leaning onto this adult, not like a parent-child kind of arrangement, but it's almost like you're kidnapped but you are afraid to let anybody know that this is your situation. And we have to look out for those people who are moving around with no confidence.
I like what the government send out information to the people. It's stuck in my head. From now on, I'm not taking anything for granted. Thanks for showing me the video.
No problem, man. We have to share information. This is one way of ending the cycle.
This information-based strategy by the government is a cooperative approach with citizens that seeks to preserve and enhance a secure and protective environment for all. Now that we have the information, let us use it to our advantage. Our main source of protection against the trafficking in persons is to be aware of the offense.
Jamaica's beauty is our duty. Prevent bushfires during the windy, dry season. Remove firewood, dried grass, or bush away from your house. Never use fires to clear land. Never light a fire in an open area when it's windy. Ensure cigarette butts, matches, or other lighting materials are out before disposal. And use an ashtray. Don't throw cigarette butts out of your window. High winds and dry conditions can be a fiery combination. Lend a hand. Protect our land from fires.
Increasing Jamaicans' access to tangible justice outcomes is a major government focus.
This is community justice. Residents who are standing up for peace and just actions, reclaiming Jamaica land we love.
The decent, law-abiding citizens of our country must now be more proactive and seek ways and means to overcome those who want to destroy Jamaica. Goodness must triumph over evil.
It's not a one-citizen thing, and it's not just a town thing. The Ministry of Justice is rallying the masses from country to town.
Creating a national movement of decent and upright people to take back Jamaica and to return discipline and respect for the rule of law in this country.
Using a series of public sensitization sessions, the ministry is seeking to bring together peace monitors or justice leaders. Pastors, doctors, custodians, lawyers, teachers, and other positive community members are being trained in justice programs such as child abuse, domestic violence, human trafficking, mediation, restorative justice, and legal aid. Professionals within the justice system are on hand at the sessions, equipped to answer questions.
Victims who have been sexually abused, and I speak to the evidence. A young miss, she is impregnated by an adult, and the man leaves the area. This is in relation to soca. The man leaves the area when it's hot, and a year after, he's back in the area. What's the follow-up?
As it relates to teenage pregnancy or persons who got pregnant below the age of 16, we don't just investigate and leave things hanging. We follow up. So if the person left the community, we're still after him. We try to find out where he is. If he comes back to the community, we go, we get him, we put him before the court.
Armed now with the knowledge of truth and justice, the community members will now help other citizens access justice services, resolve conflicts, and be productive members of society.
We're sending a signal to the Jamaican people, and in particular, all law-abiding and decent citizens of this country, to join us in the work that we are doing to safeguard the future of our country as we move towards a just, safe, and secure Jamaica.
I think the sensitization sessions, it's a great initiative of the Ministry of Justice. I think it teaches us now as citizens to have a greater responsibility, and it has opened our awareness. There are several activities that you can access through several services through the Justice Ministry. So it's not only limited to human trafficking. We have learned today of victim services. We have learned about legal aid services in addition to restorative justice. And key as well is that we have to access those who do not have access. So we now have to go into those remote locations. So it's not only to those internet users or social media, in other words, but it is just a great responsibility. I love the initiative, and it just makes you feel good to be a part of this great effort.
The project is being carried out through the Justice Undertakings for Social Transformation program. Already more than 200 persons have been trained. By year end, over 2,000 persons will be on the program. Peace, civility, good order, and improved behavior in communities will be the fruits of this program.
This helps the problem from reaching to the court, where it takes a lot of time and a lot of pile-up that is being done today.
I think it's very good. It's commendable on the part of the ministry to have done this. Based organizations would be the best avenue to reach the population and to have people committing in their own space, in their own community, persons who are familiar with the situation and the culture and are willing to serve.
Justice, truth be ours forever cannot be achieved without community members.
The culture of Jamaica is such that our parents would have instilled in us the value of work. And there is nothing wrong with parents ensuring that children understand the value of work. But when that crosses the line to getting our children engaged in illegal activities, such as scamming, when that crosses the line to get our children engaged in illegal activities such as becoming involved in the illegal sex trade and human trafficking, when that crosses the line such that being involved in work deprives the child of the opportunity of education, then that is not the kind of child labor that any country can be proud of.
Want to know the law pertaining to renting a house? What about the procedure if you're arrested? Or what is defined as corruption? Then click on the Ministry of Justice website. It has information on every law passed in Jamaica. The House of Parliament portal also has the more recent year's pieces of legislation. The sites are easy to search and the files are downloadable. Make access to justice your business. Know your rights.
It's the day before the official start of our Emancipation Independence period. And what better way to kick things off than by viewing the work of one entity whose main aim is to preserve our national treasures.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Headquarters House, home of the Jamaica National Heritage Trust. We're going to take you through some of the ropes in the methods in conservation, so please come along with us. Thanks for joining us in our conservation lab. We have here working with us Mr. Darrington Ferguson as well as Mr. Frank Gale, and we'll be looking at some of the methods they will be applying to different material types for the preservation of our material culture of Jamaica. First of all, we have here some cannonballs that are usually found with some extent of corrosion. Mr. Ferguson is actually removing mechanically some of the concretion from a cannonball And after he has removed that, then we would wire it. This wired metal object we would then install in our electrolytic tank. In the process of electrolysis, what we are actually doing, we are primarily reversing the process of corrosion. Once it has been electrolyzed, it would look something like this. So we would then proceed to brush to remove any loose rust that would be left on it. We would then put the iron object in some pure water, which we call deionized water, and that would be heated to ensure that the metal itself would facilitate the extraction of any impurities that might be left in the body of the iron. After that, we would dry the iron object. Most times we dry it in alcohol, and that would remove the water from the body of the object. And after drying, we would take a substance we call tannic acid, applying several coats, and it would form somewhat a stable surface for the iron object. And then the final stage is waxing to provide a coating or a lacquer on the surface of the iron object. Here we have Mr. Gale. He's actually applying orthophosphoric acid to remove slight rusting or corrosion from the case of a sword. He is actually using what we call a chemical as well as a mechanical means of so doing. We have close to it the extractor system, which is used to remove harmful fumes from the atmosphere in order to make the environment a much healthier one in which and a safer one for us to work. Lead corrodes by forming mainly lead sulfide and lead carbonate. So we would be soaking it first of all in ammonium acetate, and that would basically remove within a few hours the lead carbonate. In order to remove any residue of ammonium acetate that might be left on the lead, we would then rinse it quickly for a short time period. Just rinse it in a bath of a very dilute solution of hydrochloric acid. If there are any corrosion left at that stage, then we would remove that mechanically, either very likely with a glass bristle brush. After that, we do as we would with the iron. Coming over here now, we have copper or copper material. We have been soaking this copper in a substance we prepare in the lab, which we call alkaline Rochelle salt. The alkaline Rochelle salt will remove from it largely what we call bronze disease. So we soak it in the solution. The chemical will dissolve the bronze disease. After that has been dissolved, then we would rinse in, for example, a dilute solution of sulfuric acid to remove any slight impurities or corrosion product that might be left there. After that, we will, as we do with the other metals, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you were well informed by the information we've imparted today, and you're welcome to join us at any time, particularly at our heritage sites. And when you see our heritage sites, you see the artifacts that are there, you will appreciate to a greater extent the effort that has gone into its preservation.
And that's where we leave you on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us online for this and other programs at jis.gov.jm or on our YouTube channel. Share with us on our social media platforms and keep abreast of all the positive happenings on the island with our mobile app. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.